Namaskar friends, today's video is very basic. In today's video, we shall see how to determine the order of a given matrix and based upon the order, how you can categorize different types of matrices. So let us start today's video. See, matrices are nothing but some arrangement of numbers written in a compact form. And we all know from the school level that matrices are written under the first brackets or the third brackets. In this board, there are four different types of matrices given over here. And let us understand how to determine the order of these four different type of matrices. See, each and every time we tell the order of a matrix, it means that you have to determine how many number of rows and how many number of columns are there in this matrix. Rows always come first, then the columns. See, for the first matrix, this there are two rows. These are rows. The horizontal lines are called rows and the vertical lines are called columns. So in the very first matrix, how many rows are there? 1, 2. So you'll write 2 and how many columns are there? 2. So it is 2 by 2. It is not 2 into 2 or 2 multiplied by 2. No, not like that. It's just a notation. It means 2 by 2, where the first one represent rows and the next represent columns. So always row comes first, columns come second. For the second matrix, see how many number of rows are there. I told that the horizontal lines are rows and the vertical lines are columns. See, for the second matrix, how many horizontal lines are there? 1, 2. So the order is first row 2 by how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3. So 2 by 3. Next, how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3. So 3 rows by how many columns are there? 1, 2. Last one, see, it's very interesting. You have only one row and one column. For a single tone element in a matrix, it is also a matrix, you have only one element. So for that one element, what position is it occupying? The first row and the first column. So its order is 1 by 1. So this is how you determine the order of a given matrix. Always remember that rows come first and columns come second. Now let us see, based upon their order, how you can categorize different types of matrices. See over here, 5 examples are given. Now all these matrices are of different orders. For the first one, there are 2 rows and 2 columns, so the order is 2 by 2. Second one, there are 2 rows and 3 columns, so the order is 2 by 3. Third one, 3 by 2. Fourth one, 1 by 1. And the fifth one is 3 by 3 because there are 3 rows and 3 columns. Now, whenever the number of rows and number of columns are same for a matrix, that matrix will be called a square matrix. But when the number of rows and number of columns will be different, then that matrix is not a square matrix, it will be called a rectangular matrix. For example, in the first example, see, the number of rows and number of columns are same. That's why it is called a square matrix. Why square? Very simple, just the geometrical shape of a square where the length and breadth are same. So if the number of rows and number of columns are same, then geometrically the length and breadth will be same. That's why it looks like a square. So it will be called a square matrix. So I'm repeating once again, if the number of rows and number of columns are same, then that matrix will be called a square matrix. For example, the first one is a square matrix, 2 by 2, number of rows and number of columns same. Second one is not a square matrix, it is a rectangular matrix. Third one, see, number of rows and number of columns are different, it is also a rectangular matrix. Fourth one, number of rows and number of columns same, so it is again a square matrix. And the last one, 3 by 3, number of rows and number of columns same, that's why this is also called a square matrix. Now every time we shall tell a square matrix, see, for the square matrix the order is either 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4 and so on. Since the number of rows and number of columns are same, in most of the cases we shall use only one number for that. For example, for this one we shall call this to be a square matrix of order 2. Whenever I say order 2 and square matrix together, it means the order is 2 by 2. This is a square matrix of order 1, means 1 by 1. This is a square matrix of order 3, that is 3 by 3. My dear students, if you have liked today's video, do share this video with your friends, follow my page, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Till then, goodbye.